Hey guys, Cuda here, and this video is the first in a series of Team Fortress 2 Mann vs Machine guides which will hopefully help you in conquering this tough game mode. In Mann vs Machine, the Scout is an extremely useful class which a team pretty much always needs except maybe on the last wave of a mission. On the higher difficulty maps, the class requires a large amount of knowledge to be played well. His primary role is to collect the fallen cash and aim for bonus cash at the end of the round by collecting it all. Without a decent scout, the later rounds in Mann vs Machine will be painful as there will be little cash for the team to upgrade. You will have to remember that this video does include my personal opinions about the class, along with the experience of playing the game mode. You don't have to follow this guide specifically, but it is the one that I feel is most efficient. Okay, I'll move on to the loadout for the scout now. Your primary weapon isn't too much of a concern, but basically you want to choose anything between the standard scattergun, the soda popper, or the force of nature. You want to try and avoid using the babyface blaster and the shortstop. For your secondary weapon, you're going to want to go for the Mad Milk. Its team healing ability is useful supporting your teammates, along with its upgradable slow effect which can be a real game changer. And for your melee weapon, go for the Fan of War. The fact that it can cause mini crits on enemies, especially giant robots, makes it a must use. Remember, in Mann vs Machine, to always equip your power-up canteen. For upgrades, you're going to first of all go for movement speed and jump height. This allows you to move around quickly and easily so you can grab all of the money. After this, you're going to focus on damage resistances and getting the slow effect and the recharge rate on the Mad Milk. If you start earning money faster than you can spend it, put your cash into either your primary weapon so you can increase your damage, or go for attack speed on the Fan of War, making it easier for you to put mini crits on enemy robots. And also, if you're finding it hard to stay alive, it might be worth investing in some ubercharged canteens to gain a little bit more survivability. Okay, so let's talk about playing the scout. As I said earlier, your primary role is to collect all of the cash that's lying on the floor. A good indicator of how much money is still around is in the bottom right corner of your screen. You're going to want to keep your eye on this most of the time to ensure you haven't missed any money. Sometimes the cash will fall in hard to reach places when the game gets a bit hectic, so look around everywhere and try to learn the map so you can grab it all. By collecting all of it, you'll earn yourself a nice $100 bonus for your team, which really goes a long way if you repeatedly earn it every round. Another added benefit from picking up cash is that as a scout you'll gain extra health based on how much you pick up, which can turn you into a bit of a walking tank. As the round starts, you're going to want to refrain from jumping into the middle of the fight. Wait a small amount of time, maybe a few seconds, so that your teammates can kill off some of the enemy robots, allowing you easy access to the fallen cash. Once you've gained a nice amount of health, you can start freely jumping and running in between the enemies, picking up any money as you go. Your secondary role, which can be just as important, is to slow robots with your milk and mark enemies with mini crits using your Fan of War. Try to use your milk resourcefully, such as on groups of fast moving scouts to slow their progress, or on the rapid giant scouts to prevent them from speeding past your team with the bomb. The milk is also going to help your team against some of the giant robots which have more health, as your team will survive for longer whilst they're attacking them. Regarding sentry busters, as a scout, if you think your team is up for killing one, it can be good to milk them to slow them down, so it gives time for your teammates to attack. Don't just slow it down for the sake of it though, some engineers will want to deal with it themselves, so just leave the sentry buster be and let it run to your engineer so he can sort it out. With the Fan of War, you're going to want to target the larger and tougher enemies with mini crits by hitting them so that your damage dealing teammates can dispatch them quickly. Using your primary weapon in between your two other roles is advised, as the extra damage can help your team and finish off that final giant or tank. However, sometimes you will want to avoid using your scattergun if you are surrounded or cut off from the rest of your group, as shooting may draw the enemy's attention, which will more than likely result in your death. But do remember that your main focus as a scout should be on gathering up the fallen cash. A few final tips from me for playing scout would be to never stop moving. Keep jumping and changing direction so you don't get hit by rockets and other projectiles. Also, you may notice that the range at which you pick up money is much greater than that of the other classes, so use this to your advantage. Try and memorise the locations of health packs so you never have to use your milk to douse yourself when you become engulfed in flames. Also, you may notice that your respawn time is a lot shorter than other classes, but when the respawn timer hits 0, there is a brief delay where you can get a quicker respawn and not pay anything by hitting H. Thanks for watching this Mann vs Machine Scout guide. If you enjoyed it or found it useful, please like, comment and subscribe to the channel.